that felt pretty stupid. Like, I mean, sure, we got a couple revelations, but for most part, this was just a complete rehash of everything we saw all season long. A couple of our couples broke up. I'm surprised more didn't, but hey, if we at least got two of these people or two sets of these people away from each other, that is a step in the right direction. We'll have to wait longer for the other two couples to get their inevitable divorce, but yeah, we're not going to get to be part of that just yet. So let's run through all the complete garbage that we all got to experience this evening, starting with possibly the worst couple of the episode, Mark and Lindsay. First off, I think Lindsay's had some work done. That was like the first thing that stuck out to me is she looks way different from the reunion versus how she looked on the show. You know, maybe trying to show off to show everybody how amazing and wonderful of a person she is. But we watched the season, so it's not fooling anyone. I like the little tidbit at the start of the episode about Lindsay telling a producer that about Noi and Steve having sex. If only someone existed that could verify if this actually happened or not, you know, like bring the producer out here to call Lindsay out. Like why not? Why not? This whole franchise is fueled on drama, and this is a great way to ramp that drama up. So do it. You obviously don't care about these people, so why not throw some of these people who are on the show under the bus here at the very end? Thankfully, Mark and Lindsay are no longer together. That disaster ended, I think they said about a month or afterwards. I'm not entirely sure. Wasn't paying too much attention because Lindsay was just totally refused to take accountability for anything. You know, everything in the relationship was Mark's fault. Mark this, Mark that. And throughout the season, she fed off his misery, and it sounds like that never ended when the cameras went away. They broke up, and Lindsay's only concern in regards to the breakup was her apartment. And then immediately told us all how heartless Mark was. Lindsay, you didn't I don't even have words for this. Like you only care about yourself. You never cared about Mark. You were just won't take any accountability, blame Mark for everything. And we saw the season. We saw how rotten and vile Lindsay was. And you know, she's trying to say all this stuff about how she needs to be with a real man. She needs to be with somebody who's intelligent. Lindsay, I don't think there is a rotten enough person on this planet that deserves to be stuck with you. In the end, all we learned tonight is 100% for sure Lindsay is completely delusional. And whenever Mark the Shark does decide to start dating again, I don't think he's going to have any issues. But Lindsay, on the other hand, she's going to have the same issues over and over and over again. Next up, let's jump over to Katina and Isaac. You know, 5 months later, and we're still talking about Isaac wanting Katina to cook dinner for him. I just don't even have the energy for these two. Like, Isaac was horrible this season. He was just horrible to Katina, and we're supposed to buy that no one's ever told him not to be a dickhead in his entire life. Like, that never came up. No, that should just be something that you just know. Like, don't treat people as less than equal. And that's what Isaac did to Katina all season long. We did get one nice moment where Isaac stole Steve's ring move to give Katina a new ring. So a nice ending for a terrible couple. Let's move on because I don't want to talk about them anymore. Next up, we have Chris and What's-Her-Face. We got a lot of "I'm sorry, but I'm a good person" from her, explaining everything. Everything was I'm sorry, but. Once again, somebody who just has not taken any accountability for their actions, for what happened. She was horrible. And Chris was lucky that he only had to put up with it for 10 days. And like the clips of her talking to the producers, going off about Chris were ridiculous. And then she said she wasn't mentally aware of the things she was saying. What? What? So like, if you're upset, that means you no longer have to worry about anything that comes out of your mouth, because mentally you just weren't aware of what you were saying, so it's fine. So you can still be a good person even though you were doing terrible things to somebody else. In the end, she's still full of crap, and I honestly forgot just how horrible of a person she actually was. And no, we're not going to say her name. Next up, Jasmina and Michael. The way that they were sitting there on the couch together, all snuggled up together, Jasmina's leaning into Michael. I thought for sure that they were going to say they were still together, but no, they are not. And with all the explanations on everything that we got, why did Jasmina say yes on decision day? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It seems like she already knew the conclusion, but still just said yes anyways. And in the end here, she really strikes me as someone who would say like, "Oh, I don't want to do anything for my birthday." And then you say, "Okay, well, we won't do anything for your birthday." And then a week later, you find out that she's mad that you didn't do anything for her birthday. She's kind of playing games and expecting Michael to do these things after telling him not to do them. Like, why did Michael not make any romantic gestures? Because you told him not to. And then want to blame him for not doing that just seems so silly to me. In the end, they were never going to end up being anything more than friends, and just unfortunate that they had to, go through this whole season, go past the decision day before they got to that conclusion. Lastly, we have Nicky and Steve. Sadly, they are still together, and we're kind of getting more of a picture that maybe Steve isn't just a broke-ass joke like we were maybe led to believe, that maybe he's got a little bit of money in the bank, that maybe he did a little dabbling in the crypto world to make a little piggy bank for himself. And it kind of seemed like, while Steve said that he has this whole plan and blah, 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 that all of a sudden money's just not that much of a concern for them, because I think that Stevie Boy has a little bit of cash tucked away under the mattress. And like Noi, for somebody who's so obsessed with money, she seems pretty happy to be throwing away a lot of money on a second apartment, which apparently she still has. If you're married, I mean, why wouldn't you be just living together? Like, don't keep the second apartment. Just seems silly to me. And I think Noi is just going to use Steve as a piggy bank for as long as she can before she moves on with her life. I just want to point out that we went the entire season being led to believe that Noi had this alter ego named Noisy. and Noisy didn't make one single appearance all season long. So doesn't seem like that is a thing that is actually real. When they're sitting there on the couch, like just looking at the body language, Noi just doesn't even act like she can tolerate him. Like she's leaned away from him. There's space in between them. You know, she's giving her weird face things to him all the time. And as much as, you know, they said yes, I'm not buying it long term. And eventually this season is going to get to 5 divorces. It's just a matter of how long that's going to take. This might be my worst review of the season. So on that note, let's shut her down for the week. I'll be back again for part 2. I'm sure it will be another gigantic big pile of garbage, but we got to see this thing through. And then also next week, I will be jumping over to Alone. I know probably not many of you who watch Married at First Sight watch Alone, but I love the show, and I will 100% be covering that starting next week. So hopefully you'll maybe check it out, but if not, that's cool. I always appreciate everyone's comments, everybody's support. I've been loving the conversations in the comments all season long, and hope that continues again in the future. So as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you later.